I'm trying to read. Some of your handwriting's really hard to read. How do you think, how do you think the image of the Chinese is now faring as far as the film medium is concerned? I think the image of the
Okay, I think the
Chinese
Chinese image in film,
in films,
in
yeah,
television,
yeah.
improve a lot. There's still room to improve. Um, someone can give you a better answer than I do,
Yeah.
but I give you example. I raise children here in America. Um, my oldest son, he is 23, turning 24. When he was a child, when we give him anything, it took us years to realize he, if something like Feng Li Su that has Chinese character on it, he'll throw it away, like lunchbox. He's very nervous being a Chinese kid. And we're liberal. We're in a, in Westchester, New York. That's pretty liberal place. So they feel the pressure of being different, being Chinese. And my second son, which is 6 years younger, grew up being Chinese kids pretty cool, especially after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Pat on my head. I think the lives of our kids is so much better than when I came to the States. Up to late 80s, I still get those comments like you meet someone, the person would say, where you're coming from? I say, from Taiwan. They were like, try to be nice and say, oh, I love Thai food. Early 90s, and that's changed so rapidly. Images in the media, I think, changed a lot. I would say to some of you are young filmmakers, I would say this to you. We're not going to totally change it and make it right until we write about them. And a lot more of you who are actors, you're waiting for that right part. It's very hard. My younger son wants to be actor, so I will tell him the same thing. You have to learn writing, because you're a living example of that. You're writing. There's a lot of frustration to get there, like just a normal person. You know, you're always like a doctor or a martial artist, a Chinatown thugs, or somebody's best friend. So the movie will look correct. So that's the most part you get. Uh, Very few times you're looking for the American writer to even they try hard.
They couldn't express your experience, yeah.
It's so much better than like before Taipan, for example. I remember you told me you have an acting coach, dialogue coach to teach you the Chinese accent English. You and Lisa Lu were like, we're Chinese, we speak Chinese accent. No, Chinese accent is like,
Yeah.
Whatever. Uh,
I think the
Things were changed. I think
yeah.
to come along with economic power, the rise of
Yeah.
Chinese, the films and television started to be recognized since the 90s. It's moving forward very encouragingly, but there's still room to improve. That has to be improved by the Chinese writers. We have to create those characters. I think the audience is accepting us. They want genuine, authentic stuff. Like they go to a Chinese restaurant these days, they don't just improve from chop suey to chicken broccoli. They're better than chicken broccoli now. They wanted you to tell them, so I want to go to a place where you don't see white people or American people. They're all Chinese people. That must be authentic.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
is it?
yeah.
So if they want to go to a good restaurant, they ask you, what should I order? So they're like that now. So I don't think we're totally provide them yet. The young writers, I see a lot of it because they will pitch to me, either ask for advice or hoping I will like them. A lot of them look very similar. It's in a very small way about their life experience. I'm sure you
Very limited life
very
experience.
limited.
So ultimately,
Which
you
didn't
still
go
need
really
to be
outside
really
here
good, yeah.
or in Asia. In
Yeah.
Asia, they really get stuck. So you really have to expand it. to be like everybody else, and let your imagination, your dramatic sense, and care about the whole human issues. You think something. I don't necessarily saying that they should think big or universal, but they should step out that frame and create something like a larger audience really hungry to see. I think the audience are hungry to see genuine great Chinese drama, characters, life, culture being portrayed, and I don't think we're providing enough. It's too much to ask the studio to provide that, but we
Yeah.
have to provide that. I genuinely think we're not good enough yet in that front. We
You just
have
have
to
to
work
be
harder.
good enough.
We have to work harder.
Feel that they're more ready to embrace that.
Well,
What
they're
less
not Chinese.
caution.
The only way they want to understand, they can understand and appreciate a different culture, whether it's Chinese or Muslim or anybody or Africa. The first thing is fascination. It has to be fascination to keep their appetite, their interests going. The other is through understanding, is reasoning. That sometimes have a backlash from your own culture, which I experience a lot. I didn't know that was an issue until I made Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because the release of that film is so global, so vast. At the time when I make the movie, I just try to make the best I can. Also, I work with American crews sometimes, some of the Americans, including one, Chen's. When you have to have them understand what you're talking about, you have to reason with it. You have to be reasonable. That sometimes can kill culture, because in your own culture, you don't explain, you just do it. So when you pass that gap, you're already kind of selective. You already somehow betray your own culture. For the Chinese audience, they're doubting your authenticity, even though to me they're improvement. Just because they're Chinese doesn't mean they're good. Like most martial art films are bad movies. Nobody talk about that. But when you try to make it better, they say that's not really Chinese film. I don't want to say it's not because it's not bad enough for you. They're full of mistakes. They're B movies. I try to do better, and then sometimes you can feel so defeated when they're not appreciate what you do. But that's our struggling in history for the past 300 to 500 years. That we try to catch up. But that's our fate. We've been in an inferior position since Opium War, so to speak, and we try to catch up. Like everybody, non-Western or Japanese, not even Japanese to some degree, has to do that catch up, the modernization. And even American South, I made a movie about Civil War. The main character fight for the South. Now your heart has to go there, but your culture, your identity, your root is still stay in the South. And there's a adjustment to make. So we're struggling. I don't want to, I think for my case, the struggling itself, hopefully, is the art, is the cultural phenomenon, is something interesting to watch. And then I made Lost Caution. I think it really hits Asian audience, but people are really lukewarm here, lukewarm. Like in a lot, I'm confused. I'm trying to still figure out. There's no easy answer, but I think it's worth struggle. I think it's your filmmaker's choice where you want to stay too. Do you want to go further out, or that's just the way I want to do it? I will stick to it. That's your choice. And there's all sorts of in-betweens. You have the choice. Not everybody has to make Disney movies, but you don't have to have the highbrow art like so local. And sometimes, if you're lucky, if you hit it right, the localness is the universality, and that becomes something to watch. But for young filmmakers, I would encourage them to re-examine your own culture, where you come from. Would it withstand the eyes of a foreign eyes? I did the reverse too. When I did like American movie, I faced that problem too, except it's the reverse. Sometimes the foreigner's eyes can be more, could be sharper, could be more accurate. and that hurt the culture itself, like gay cowboy.
Ice Storm.
Yeah, it hurts. It's a dissolution, but it's more accurate